One way an employer can avoid liability under the OSHA Act, avoid a fine in the event, for example, that an employee is injured on the job, is to show that the injury was caused by what's called unpreventable employee misconduct. And that basically means this: the employer has a good safety program, training program for employees. The employer requires that every employee who is going to be working on a particular site or in a particular part of the factory or where these will be relevant goes through the program, usually with refreshers, maybe on an annual basis, that the employee understands that the employer disciplines individual employees who violate the safety standard, and the employer can prove that. If that's the case, and if the employee then goes ahead and does something in disregard of the safety rules and creates a condition that causes an injury either to himself or somebody else, when OSHA comes in and investigates and said there's a unsafe condition here, if we can prove that there was unpreventable employee misconduct, we can avoid or very much diminish the fine that OSHA would otherwise impose on us. And that has a substantial implication for academics, for people who are supervising students in potentially risky situations, whether it's in a biology or chemical or chemistry or physics lab, whether it's in technology, whether it's in the art department, wherever it might be. We should have, and I believe the chemistry department already does this, should have safety training modules that basically every student is required to go through. Preferably they get graded on it, and they don't get turned loose in the lab or aren't allowed to work in the kiln until they've gotten a passing grade, whatever a minimal competency grade. The higher the competency, the better, obviously. And the student understands that there are negative implications if they fail to behave in a safe way, if they neglect to comply with these safety requirements, if they don't wear their goggles when they're mixing chemicals or working in the laboratory at all, that they can be graded down, that they might, if it becomes repetitive, they might be kicked out of the course. But the point is, it's very much like the unpreventable employee misconduct offense. If we can show that the students have gone through a similar kind of training process and they understand the adverse consequences, then if they go ahead and screw up, we're going to be able to say, look, that was caused by negligence that we couldn't have prevented. You can't prevent people from doing totally bozo things. What you can do is do your best to train them, assure them that failure to comply can result in discipline or adverse grade. That will reduce the likelihood of liability from conduct by a student that disregards safety rules.